Well, welcome, welcome. We are on our second Grand Council exploration call where we're just going to talk about what the Global Grandmothers Council Grand Council is and what it means and how we see it evolving and coming together. I want to give just a little update to everybody that today I got the budget page from One Divine, who's doing our website, our platform. It's not just a website, it's a platform. And I reduced the GoFundMe by $2,000. We need 6,000, not 8. Yay!
Wonderful.
So we're $2,000 short. So we have decided to have an event, an online event, and do some fundraising on the 29th of September. And we have a planning meeting for that on Sunday, 9 a.m. my time. So Sunday at 9 a.m. we'll have a planning meeting for putting together the event on the 29th. So if anybody's interested in that, that'll be, I think I sent something out in the email. Did you all see the email that I sent? Did I get it to you? No? Okay.
The 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the Global Grandmothers Council Network, let's just start with a breath. Let's just be present fully with us here now. So we'll take 3 breaths together. Deep breath in. Hold it. And let it out. Breath in. Hold it. Let it swirl around within you. And out. One more breath in and really feel each other in this space and feel how we're surrounded and how we are infused with each other in this sphere that we are in this Zoom call. Let it out. And I really appreciate each one of you and your presence here. And I'm grateful especially to the ancestors and who are, the veils are so thin. If there are any veils anymore, they are so present with us. And they're guiding everything we do, everything we think. As we say, oh, let's do this, then immediately answers are given and things start happening that we haven't even sparked except with our intention. It's really a wonderful experience here in this Global Grandmothers Council Network. I'm very grateful. Okay, so let's just go around the circle and say who we are and what our heart is. Have you all seen the recording, or were you present on the last Global Council exploration?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Okay, Pamela, you were muted. Pamela, you're saying, there we go. Pamela?
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so where do I find that? Where do I, because there's been so much, as you know. So
it's under featured.
It's under featured?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it has the image of the 12 spheres, which I'll show in a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I'll catch up. I'm always backwards anyway.
Well, we'll go over it here too. So let's just go in a spiral around the circle. Karen, would you like to start and go to Kalina? Let me get, make sure my view matches. Everybody has the same view. Okay. So we'll go Karen, Kalina, Brenda, Debbie, Joan, and Pamela. And just, tell us who you are and how you're feeling and what's going on with you.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. As I said before, it's Friday today. My name is Karen Bright. I'm known as Grandma Turtle Woman, but my Sundance name at 61, third year of Sundance over in the International Sundance, which is part of all this, all colours coming together, is Grandmother Earth Thunder Woman. So for the native women that come on, they expect you to do the proper protocols. I live here in Naarm, Wurundjeri country, which is the Aboriginal name for Melbourne. NAARM is what I'm saying. And I'm 67 next month on the 15th of October, and I become an age pensioner, which is great because when I travel, I don't get paid. I don't get paid anyway because I've been on this walk. So for those that don't know, an introduction, the best friend of Grandma Flor de Mayo, the Hopi grandmother, I'll make it short, came to Australia for World Prayer and Peace Day 22 years ago or over, 2002. And she changed my whole life, stayed with me and became my teacher and told me about the 13 grandmothers. They were forming then. And she told me to start running circles for women. And at the time I said, women are bitches. I don't want to run circles for women. I've been running circles for ever since. They were weekly. So that's how I know the 13 grandmothers, and they're my inspiration. So for that, and the grandmother Connie, that's the main part because these ones are telling me now, the old ones here. When she stayed in my home, I woke up and thought I was going crazy because there was grandmothers of all different nations' faces looking at me, like you are looking at me now. And I said, Grandma, there's all these faces. Grandma's looking at me. What's going on? Yeah, love, they travel with me. Okay. Well, they never left. So they tell me to get out of my own way, and I'm their voice. And there's many of us, and when you were praying, that's what I felt, Mayana. They were all here, and that's why they make me shift my backside and come on, even though at the moment. So I'm actually travelling over to the 13 grandmothers anniversary in Santa Fe, and I have just had an MRI done, and the right knee that brought me home early, and I travelled twice already to USA. And, it's amazing where the money comes from. I don't have poverty consciousness because they provide everything. And so I go over, but I've got meniscus tears. I've got to get a knee replacement. So I'm having physio. I've had a cyst drained off my knee, and that's why I haven't been so involved. Last week it was the cyst on the back of the knee, which was drained in January, and the fluid. It's like welcome to age pension. But I'm on my third chapter, so I'm going. My daughter's not talking to me because she grounded me this year after I came back with a sore leg from Italy. And I'm going to a gathering here on the 15th of October. It's called Spiritual Unity of the Tribe. And that's where I met a lot of beautiful elders and teachers from Nambai, what Debbie was talking about over there. And they've helped me in this life. We come together. And so what I've been running here is called Grandmother's Circle, Grandmother's Teaching. Yeah. And I hand myself over in prayer, and that's what happens. And so it's early for my brain. I'm fasting, so I've been doing a bit of fasting. I have to get some of this weight off, off my leg. So I've lost 3 kilos in 3 weeks, so I haven't had my coffee yet. All right, so just bear with me. The only other thing they want me to tell you is, yeah. So they I'm on here because the grandmothers are my way of life, and they changed my life, and that's why I'm going, because we've lost so many, and they're my inspiration. Yeah, that's why I'm going across to Santa Fe. And Debbie, you spoke of star dreaming. I've been to 2 of the grandmothers gatherings in South Dakota, And I was there afterwards with the governor of Namibia, Grandpa Rooney, at the National Forest, and they came down after I'd seen them to do a healing with veterans. And they said, "Oh, tomorrow we're going to star dreaming, you can come with us, Florida Bay and all of them." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I was flying out and I got that it wasn't time, but I already had it on my bucket list to go this time on this trip. And I've been 6 times now to Santa Fe over 20 years because of the elders, because of Florida Mayor and Grandpa Rooney, but it's called me. So what you wrote, Debbie, really resonated to help me understand. I thought it was just the altitude. I was like that, and and I will just one more thing. This is them talking, not me, and so, and you know how fast the energy's been at the moment. We've been working with that this week. The DNA coding, the light streams, everything's coming through, and I can share a bit about that after maybe. But for now, and they get you buzzing, which is what happens. You know that, all of you, the light. So, Debbie, when I went to Florida Mayo's about maybe 7 years ago, she had Gathering of Humanity at her place. You see a little bit of my face on her little intro clip on her path thing. And I was there with Grandma Sasa, who's now my mum. But as we went into prayer around the fire at the park over in New Mexico, this beautiful grandmother showed me her face. And she's the grandmother Blue Corn woman. And she's the elder from that area. So that's what I'm talking about when I go, the grandmother, the guardian of that land, All right. That's a lot. I'm sorry about that. But, it's them because it's more of a hello, this is who we are. And you will remember each other in our heart. Yeah. So thank you. Good morning.
Thank
A lot.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm Kalina and I'm Kansuki woman. Sorry. This is Kansuki woman. And so what we are is we're women that have gone through this amazing journey, and it's like a chrysalis, and we broke through and we cracked and we've fragmented and we've become so strong, and we have so much wisdom and we've grown so much. And this is something that I think most women have gone through because of their journey. And so I find that this is like a chrysalis, like we're like a butterfly. We go through that as chrysalis women. And so I'm here to support other women. I had 3 grandmothers, beautiful grandmothers, but a very strict and very conservative lifestyle. So when I was younger and I broke through with that, I was a rebel. I went through a lot of things. And so I'm just here for other women to let them know I did it. Other women can do it. I've got 5 sisters. I've got a big family and 2 brothers. And it's a soap opera. It's a soap opera, right? If any of you have a family like me and you know what it's like, all the crazy things that can go on, it's a soap opera. So we need each other. We need to help each other, support each other. I never had an older sister. I never had anybody for support. I had to teach myself and learn things myself. And I got a lot of different situations I shouldn't have been in at times, but I'm stronger and my life is good. My life is good. So I'm here to help however I can help, and I'm so glad that I'm here.
I'm just curious where Kalina is from.
I live near London, Ontario. So I lived in Toronto for years, like over 30 years. So, but my original, where I was born was in Elmira. It's a very Mennonite community. So like my father was a horse and buggy, like drove horse and buggy when he was younger. And yeah, I used to wear covering and very conservative lifestyle as a kid. But so. Is anybody here Canadian other than me? I'm trying to connect with some other Canadians too, right? Because I live in a small town, so I'd like to see if I can get some women in my own area, but it's so hard to connect. Anyway, but if you know anyone, introduce them to me. Thank you, ladies.
Is Joan next?
Brenda, I think you are.
Oh, I am? Sorry.
Yeah, we're spiraling.
I don't have it on my, so it's very interesting. I'm not the next one on my screen. Of course, of course. I'm Brenda and I'm from Louisville, Colorado, between Boulder and Denver. And been part of the group for probably about a couple of months, and just really excited to come to be at this point and be hopefully find my place in the council and just really support our movement here.
And just so you know, Brenda is at Four Corners. Do you want to tell a little bit about your heritage, Brenda?
I'm from the border of New Mexico and Colorado, and you know, we're talking to Cherokee, the Ute, Arapaho, Apache on both my mom and dad's side. And but then also what's running through my brain is Portuguese and Spaniard. So you know, some of you might know the history of where, like, someone like me, you know, what we think of ourselves, but it's basically I'm a Chicana. You know, it's created because they don't know where to put me, right?
Mhm.
So, so yeah, so I've a family of 9, I'm in the middle, and have always been drawn. I always the weird one, always the odd one, always the one that wants to do things different. I was born with hip dysplasia, and being really from a poor family, I really thought I was different because I was different in terms of like being, you know, like my mom couldn't just care for, you know, have specialties, right? But I was held a lot. I think I was paid, and I always thought it was that. And now fast forward, I'm like, no, I've been a seeker for the truth, and just really a lot more spiritual, obviously. So loving my age right now, just a lot of wisdom, a lot of stuff I'm able to just step right into that I used to question so much. So it's nice to get to this age and you're just like, no, I know what's going on now.
Mm.
Okay, now I think is
Yep.
Pamela on mine.
No, Debbie's next.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
I'm Debbie, and I am from Roswell, Georgia, aka Atlanta. Excuse me. I talk all day long, and by this time, my voice is shot. I have a full-time healing practice. I am way over full-time. And Karen, I am 67, 10 days before you on October 5th. So I'm older, I'm the older woman. And I, like Karen, keep getting called back to Santa Fe, which I recently found out is a place where there are portals that are universally known. And for what I would like to do, you know, I know a bunch of healing techniques and I use them all day long, but I really want to be a presence healer where I can do a little bit of that now if it's a one-on-one and if I've got a few hours, but I want to be able to walk in a room of, you know, a dozen people or more and just be able to have people heal in my presence. And so that's why I keep getting called back to Santa Fe, because it's not like you can take a class in that, right? I need to go somewhere where there's extra special sauce. So I have to be really careful about what I commit to because I'm already overcommitted, but I have wanted to be a part of this. I've trained with a number of, I have no native blood whatsoever, but I have trained with a number of indigenous grandmothers and indigenous men. Star dreaming is my heart and my home. And I'm telling you, Karen, when you go there, when you sign up, you can sign up for the outside and the inside. The inside temple, the temple of illumination, go spend 2 hours in there and heal your knee. So it's an unbelievable place. And I'm really glad to be here and glad to be involved with the grandmothers.
My name is Joan Enoch. I'm actually 84, so you all look young to me. very young, actually. um, I'm kind of at the end of things rather than right in the middle of everything. I'm living now, I come from Brooklyn, New York. I come from a Jewish background. I am a doctor. I'm a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst. I'm a grandmother of 6 young adult grandchildren. My I'm trying to think in terms of, rather than my history, what I would have to offer to this group. And I've run a lot of groups over the course of my life, and I have written poetry, which has at times gotten some been recognized. So I can facilitate groups and classes. I am not that connected to all of the higher frequencies that many of you are. I wish I was, but I'm not. And I can wish for it till the cows come home, but it's not probably going to happen in this lifetime. So I'm reasonably solid, old, and in the way often. I'd like to not be in the way here. And that's what I can offer. I've done things on poetry and healing. I've done classes, I've done groups. I'm not going to try to be any kind of psychiatrist to this kind of a group. I have a lot to learn. And I think that's probably all I have to say, unless anyone has any questions for me. Brooklyn to the Olympic Peninsula now, through much of the United States.
I'm Pam Sutton. I'm still in Worcester, central Massachusetts in the Northeast, about 40 miles from Boston. And the land that Worcester occupies at this point is Nipmuc, and there are other designations also, and I'm on the shores of Lake Quinsigamond. And so I'm very grateful to be here and to be a part of these discussions. My history with knowing that this group would be an extension of many of the women's groups that have come through. As Mariana said, who knows if the veils are even there anymore. But it felt like it in 1961 that they were there. And I do tend to reference Hebrew and Christian scripture, but I qualify that because my understanding and the understanding of a small group of us here since 1961 is that so much was lost when the faith, the pure faith, was weaponized, and when those who were very militaristic took over the area, and the Diaspora, they did not have any regard for the power of the female energies, except to utilize them and not to allow them to flourish or depend with their hearts on them. That would have then, but is now manifesting and growing, and there's nothing anyone can do to hold it back now. So I'm very grateful to be here.
Hi, Kelly. Welcome. We're just a brief introduction, who you are, where you are, and how you're feeling. Yeah. You are mute. Oh, there you go.
Hey everyone. Sorry I
Hi,
came,
Karen.
I missed hearing about Karen and Kalina. Caught the end of you, Brenda. So sorry I missed your introductions. Um, so Mayana and I met in Oregon years ago, and we're friends. And I'm a grandmother and a mother. I've been a intuitive healer, artist, musician, and storyteller for 31 years. I have a practice called Love, Wisdom, Power, Path to Wholeness. And I do a lot of work with deep focused, deep core integration work and helping people to find what I call their diamond. um, I had a prophetic journey with dragons that was for 25 years, very powerful. And I was fulfilling a mission with them for the earth. And about a year ago, I guess maybe 2 years ago, I got invited to Dragon Thunder, which was an international summit to speak and talk about dragons. And I said yes to coming out to speak. And I started to actually tell my story of what I experienced with the herstory of ourselves in relationship to the elemental guardians waking up on the earth. And the more I did that, the more I realized also how connected that is to a part of the human story of all of us that is seriously waking up inside of us and partnered with the new earth and our own transformation and what's going on with the world. I also am an artist with light language and speak and sing. I play the harp and I facilitate ceremonies. I've been a ceremonial leader for the whole state of Oregon for children. I ran the potlatch. I was the chief storyteller for potlatch events for the Indigenous Studies program for Native Studies for fourth graders for the whole state for 8 years here in Oregon. Um, I love fourth graders. They're my tribe. And I love working with children, but I also work with a lot of adults and I've mentored a lot of young people. I am a mother of three and I have 6 grandkids. No great grandchildren yet, thank goodness. My oldest grandchild is 16, not yet. So, bit young, but it happens. And in the meantime, um, I've joined the board of directors with Mayana at the Peace Productions and have just come in to be part of the core for her organization. And I'm really happy to be there. Peace vigils and holding peace for the world is a very important part of my walk and my commitment as an all mother steward for the earth, holding a love for the sacred. I am Ani Tisqua, which is Bird Clan, and I'm Tisloji, which is Cherokee. And I have a lot of indigenous teachings from my own ancestors that have also partnered with me during my time of being me and on this earth so far, and my indigenous Scottish grandmother, who's been a teacher to me too. I talk to my ancestors and have this gift for talking to spirits. And so I've had the good fortune of being able to learn a lot from my ancestors, which I actually credit a lot of my own stable, centered, rooted groundedness to my ancestors. I don't believe that I could be as successful at being a guide and a support for others as I am without that love and that true gift of what they've given me, which has been a lot. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to my ancestors immensely. And I have a lot of respect for all tribal people who are working to hold on to their traditions. So even though I have history and part Native, I don't wave that flag too much. It's really, I'm a spiritual counselor and I don't use terms like shaman or anything like that, even though I'm very shamanic in my gifts. I'm a really powerful journey teacher. And I'll show you my drum. So she's right here, but this is my drum and I painted her. And this is my teaching drum for when I'm taking people vision questing. I'm a clan leader and I hold a medicine wheel. as well. So, and I inherited. So.
You
um,
do a lot of your work virtual? Or does it have to be one-on-one?
Oh, no, I work online a lot. And the Dragons actually took me into some deep work. I joined, well, more than this, I'll tell you two things. I now offer courses online, which I just started doing in the last year. And I'm really birthing out of a cave. You know, the whole time I was doing all this prophetic work with dragons, I was like, was very hidden. You would only hear about me through word of mouth. I worked by referral only for 30 years. So I know a lot of us grandmothers feel like me. From talking to others like you, I've found out many of you have been just coming out more now. And I actually believe there's a reason for that we could talk about at some point. But I joined a mentorship program with a woman named Sage Levine last year or this last spring. And I'm working on my first book because I ciphered a map for wholeness that's really intricate and comprehensive. And I feel like it's very meaningful to anybody who's interested in doing deep core work to have that information. So I'm working on finishing a book, but I also have struggles with writing. So I've been like, ugh. But I submitted my first book proposal to Hay House in June, and I won honorable mention and came in out of 133 proposals in the top 10. And I was shocked because it was the sloppiest, junkiest. Like I put together the proposal in 5 hours, like right before the deadline. And I was just like in this place of, I'm not going to let one more opportunity pass me by. So I pushed myself. And then I won, which was like, even though I didn't win the cash prize, I felt like I won. So it was exciting. Yeah. So I now offer courses. Yeah.
Good. Okay. And I just want to share from my perspective. I have something new to say that I've not told anybody out loud. That, yeah, I'm 66. I just turned 66. I'm not a grandmother, but I have 3 adult children.
Sorry, Mayana, I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Oh, you can't.
Is it just me?
No.
You're very soft.
Yeah, I think so, soft.
Maybe just speak up.
And I want to hear you.
No, my computer does this
There
to
you
me.
go.
There you
Thank
are.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My computer automatically shuts the sound down for some
Okay,
reason.
good.
Okay,
Okay, now
so
go ahead. Sorry.
so I have 3 grown children, and none of them are having children. But my daughter has married a man with children, and
Right.
she's becoming a grandmother. So
Wow.
my daughter's becoming a grandmother. So that's that just found that out. So I'm sharing that with you for the
Wow.
first time.
Congratulations.
And I'm here in Stewart, Virginia, which is the original peoples of this land were the Wolf Creek tribe of the Cherokee. And so now we've spent 40 minutes almost. So I have to start sharing my screen and getting down to business. So I'm going to start here with the image of this is our Grand Council sphere. I just want to explain this. Yeah, it was a download. It came. I've worked with the 12 around 1 principle for many, many years. I worked with Barbara Marx Hubbard. I worked with her. I don't know if you know her work. You can look that up later if you don't. She found 12 sectors of society that if they worked in harmony, it could create a flourishing community. And through my years of working with it, it's grown and grown. And when it came for the grandmothers, you know, I have a personal guidance system that I use to teach people with how to know yourself in 12 dimensions. And what I experienced for myself was when my 12 dimensions were in harmony with the one that's me in the middle, The me in the middle swirls out and becomes 1, and that's the 13. The 12 around 1 is a masculine principle for a seed, and the 13 is the feminine principle, which why we have the 13 indigenous grandmothers. So this image came with the Core Values Council. That's the values that our members have identified. The Core Council holds that and holds all of the other 12 councils. So what we're seeing on this is that we're asking someone to step into each one of these councils to start with, whether it's your strength or not, to hold the seed for it to grow. And each one of these will have their own council. So the media, anyone who's interested in being in the media group, then would select someone to sit on the Grand Council. And so we have representatives of each council, and it fractalizes to the actions that need to happen for our organization to be flourishing and grow. So the Core Values Council is currently Sharon Raji Maynard and Suzanne Lewis, who are the founders, and myself, and Sandra Lobb and Susan Meeker Lowry. We have all stepped in. Those two have been at almost every meeting that we've had, Sandra and Susan.
Okay,
They've
so
been
let
on
me-
the transition team with me.
So let me ask you, I think that's 6, is that 6?
That was 5.
5?
Yes,
So you're saying those 5 are right smack in the middle?
yes.
Got it. Those are the
Hold,
5?
holding the core values for all of us, for
Okay, so-
all of the councils. So the core that just holds the center of it and holds everything within the container. They're the ones holding the container that these other 12 are within.
And then today you are looking for someone to hold the seed in these 12 that we see right now.
Correct. We have, or several to come together into some of them. This is our second call about this specific process. And so there are people considering, there are people feeling into where could I best serve? And just in our structure that we've put together for the platform, we're no longer calling it a website. It's not a website, it's a platform because it's interactive.
Mhm.
So a website is static, but this is interactive. It's a platform. So the social media is in there, the events, you can communicate with people. You can find someone locally because we'll all, it's searchable by location. Who are the members in Toronto? It'll be searchable easily, and you can follow one another and friend one another and go in groups together, and leaders will have groups that people will communicate in, like the social media stream, like our Facebook group. Very, very similar. So
Are you gonna give us a
Yes.
description about each of these?
yes,
Thanks.
yes. So I'm going to share a different screen now. So it'll take just a second. Okay, so the spheres of influence on the Grand Council.
Hmm.
So up at the top is, we called it curation, and that name may change, but it's kind of a good word. This circle identifies and evaluates group leaders and the content that comes in. It helps to categorize the content. Where should it go? How do we organize it? And also, it's not written on here, but this council will be the council that pulls together the grandmother's poetry to print a book, to make a book of grandmother poetry, a book of grandmother wisdom, a good book of grandmother's stories, a book of grandmother's art, however all of those things emerge, that it would be the curation council that holds that.
Mm.
The training council will be responsible for all the teaching, training, retreat, and curricula that we put forth as Global Grandmother brand. So it's been reviewed and endorsed, and it's part of the Global Grandmother's personal teaching, the organization's teachings and events and activities versus the individuals. So the individuals will have their own, and will have some that are branded as Global Grandmother Council. Just to clarify for that at different levels of support, the different growth opportunities that our platform provides. We have the seeds that are free, the flowers that are $13 a month, and we have fruits and nuts. The fruit of the tree is $33 a month, and those members will be invited to submit one of their teachings or one of their artwork or one of their items that they create that will go in the Global Grandmother branded store or academy, and they can list it on their own. So it's a way to advance a specific teaching for one of the teachers. Okay, so I'm not going to go any deeper into that right now. You can ask questions. Do you have questions so far? I mean,
Well, I have a question just in
Yes,
terms
Joan.
of the payments monthly for whatever, I guess where one feels one can fit in. But I don't understand what happens when there may be people who can't afford to pay certain amounts.
right.
They should not, of course, and I'm sure you have it so that they're not kept out because of that.
Correct. So the free membership is just for anybody that wants to come in and learn and grow. The business model that we're using is that all funds that come in go right back out to the grandmothers. So we will be providing scholarships for those who need the scholarship and want to step up a level but can't afford to. We will the foundation will provide grants and scholarships for activities and retreats, so those who can't afford it can still participate. Also, we're going to have microloans for people in other countries that, $50 would help them start a business, and we can do microloans. We can do grants to people for their needs. The money that comes through these sustainers or supporters of fruits and nuts, all of it, because we are a nonprofit, it all goes right back to the grandmothers. And if we have a task that needs to be hired, we seek a grandmother first. If we can't find a grandmother to pay at a living wage, we're looking at a living wage of $40 an hour for 3 to 10 hours a week, depending on what the task is. Never more than 10 hours a week for a person, just to supplement their income. But that's a really good supplement. We honor that everyone has the skills of a lifetime and deserve to be paid well for tasks that need to be done. So we're redistributing our wealth between the grandmothers, and all of our activities will invite other people to donate and support the grandmothers too.
Thanks.
Debbie? Yeah. Debbie? Yeah.
So a couple of things. I'm wondering if everybody can mute. while we're doing this. And then the second thing is, respectfully, I've been going since 9 o'clock this morning, and my neurodivergent brain has a hard time jumping back and forth from one thing to another. So could we maybe get through the circles and hold questions till the end or something like that? Is that okay?
Sure, sure. Yeah,
Thank you.
my brain just at that moment had gone, oh, it's getting late. It's been a big day. Yeah, I get that too. Okay, so guidance. The Guidance Council are a group of wisdom keepers who are there to refer any other council member. If you have a question, you don't know what to do, you seek guidance. These are our wise elders that really have wisdom and hold the ability to guide us through whatever challenges may come. Events are the council that will help create virtual, in-person events and activities. We do see us having on the ground activities all over the world and also online, where people can do either in person or online. The Global Action Committee is carrying our wisdom to the UN. We can make recommendations for this is how, these are things that could be changed, and our societies need to shift in these ways, and we can put together recommendations for governments, recommendations for policies, recommendations for education. That's the global action. And also ways that we can offer an activity that all across the globe, all of the grandmother councils all over the globe are doing this at the same time. And a physical action on the ground in their communities. Okay, today we're gonna all go down to the water and pray. Tomorrow we're gonna feed it people, you know, these kind of actions. So the GGC support, the Global Grandmother Council support, is support for the global actions that we do. So this would be anyone, a group of people who say, okay, we need press releases, we need this, the people who are doing this support for a global webinar, you know, the support for grandmother activities. The admin, that's kind of my council, and I welcome anyone to help with this one because we got finance and technology and marketing and publishing and production and members and lots of things involved for the legal structure of the organization. Member care is to just find out who needs what from our members. What is someone really in need? How can we help match them? We're going to have a help wanted section in the platform. And while it's kind of designed to be jobs, anyone can use it. And we're going to design it as, what help do you need? So if there's a grandmother that's really in desperate need, she can post her need and it can be met by someone else. And the member care will help find ways. And if there's a member who's in a crisis, the member care council will be able to refer them to a professional for support. We'll get those lists of professionals for them. And then the local grandmother council supports the local councils with things they might need. Like, okay, we're a local, but we're a grandmother council, so they need logos and brochures and flyers. They can fill in their own local information. They need support for training. Maybe they need someone to come and show them how to have a circle because they don't know yet. Media, this is our our visuals, our videos, putting our messages out through media in all different ways. Technology are those that are going to help keep the website functioning. And I do believe there will be some younger grandmothers who have some of these skills that will come in. We don't expect, we don't expect the older grandmothers to have the technology skills and the media and stuff like that. But I know we are out there. There are those out there who have those skills. And then outreach, this is reaching out to the world. This is sharing, bringing people in and sharing our message out, both. So working with the other councils to just weave things together and magnetize our members. And I did not do that as efficiently as I did last time. I'm feeling my tiredness tonight, so I'm going to honor that too. Okay, so now shall we just go around with questions and comments again, or would you like, is there someone with an urgent question that you'd like to ask? A feather, Karen, does that mean you have a question? I got you.
Oh, thank you. So listening to everything, they bring me in to listen, to see, because I've been walking this walk over here in Australia. And when I was with Susan Stanton, she invited me to be one of her 13 international grandmothers over there. She ran Riverside and still does. She's the CEO of Grandmother Circle the Earth. And that for me was like, oh no. You know. But she said, gee, Australia. So for me, I felt the where do I fit in? Because yes, I could list all the work I do. It doesn't matter, people come for healing, they come for mentoring, that's what the work. And I'm known in the Indigenous communities here. So there was a group, I wrote it. Oh yeah, the Guidance Council. As a grandmother already doing this work for over 22 years, if people here in Australia, because I've been the same, word of mouth, and they know me more in Canada and America and everywhere else, and they know me here, but I've got a little house, yeah, and I used to travel. So this is the third chapter of my life. So where do I fit? Because I'm already on the council, if you understand. I've been on that global group for years too because of Susan and everything. So I can offer, my services, of course. That's my walk. I'm on the path of service. I already committed to the grandmothers. So it's finding where I fit because, as we said, we're busy, yes, but this is the walk and they're the bosses. So where do I fit? I feel like on the council and also because of being here in Australia and already on this walk. And so that's my only question of where I fit. Yes, I can help people, in all sorts of ways because I run deep healing days with the grandmothers here, as well as the circles. And there's a lot of, and yes, I'm a medium like Kelly and, I do all that stuff, but it's not me. So that was just my question, finding where I fit in the core. And then I've already said to Sharon, I'm happy to do online, learn about it, do a workshop. Because when I went to, for example, when I went to Susan Stanton had the elders gathering, remember the year before, of all the elders coming together, and I went over from Australia and took 4 other women with me and shared the songs from the land and the children's prayer song, because it's all about us, children and our children and the generations. So there's so many teachings to share. But what they got me to do was the tree ceremony. And that was with the elders sitting behind me. And everyone, so when I went over again this year in April, Susan had me doing those workshops online. and the people that it touched, you know, that could receive the sitting with the grandmothers. Walking Crow said it was like he was listening. He said it was like sitting in around a fire in a circle, you know, with a grandma. And so everyone received their tree, which comes from their spirit tree. So I have all this to offer, but I need that support. I have people here. I have, by the way, I have 5 grandchildren too. Yeah, but I have people that now I'm training. So, and they're supporting me and helping me, you know, as well here. So just finding where I fit, because I can't say that, but I'm happy to come on once a month and share teachings, workshops. And then if people need to find out where the circles are and where all the different, like Spiritual Unity, their tribes and all the places here in Australia, someone could lead them to me. So that's what I'm saying.
And I just want to say that the Grand Council, what we've put together here, this is really organizational structure and how
Okay,
to
yeah.
make things happen. And it's not necessary for someone who is coming into the platform to be there, but it's holding a space, which we all know about that, holding the space for the people to come and do the work and holding the integrity for that work to be done.
Yeah,
Is what we're looking for right now. And yeah, it's a matter of feeling into your own heart, in your own guidance, what you feel you could hold in this moment for a period of time. And we're looking at, you know, we've asked for 6 months at a time from people to commit to 6 months. Then the council seats, as we grow and they fill out, they may be year long, and then, you know, see how that grows.
So that's where I'm coming from, because if I don't put my hand up, all my walk all these years has been for nothing, you know? It's like I've gone on strike. You understand? But
Yes,
I don't need to be involved in some things too. Yeah? You understand where I'm coming from?
I
You know I'm there.
absolutely do.
You know I'm
Yes.
here. You know I'm one of the grandmothers. It isn't
Yes.
about me. So that's where maybe I don't need to be in on this meeting, because you guys already know that.
You are a force, and we welcome that greatly.
All right.
Yeah.
What
And
Debbie
Joan?
mentions in the
Yes.
text that,
Yeah.
that it looks like you're leaning towards a local council leader. Does that sound like something you want to do, Karen?
Well, that
I basically already am here.
already
I have
is.
been Brenda in
Yeah.
Melbourne. Yeah, because I've been running the, you know, the circles and everything, and you know, like,
Okay, so
I'm
wait,
their messenger.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. When you say running circles, so you're running circles, it's not part of this council though?
I
No,
already
she-
have been
there's
walking the
grandmothers.
grandmother's walk.
Yeah,
Wait,
long before we did. Long
Right.
before we did.
So because
Yes.
you're already doing that work, it seems like you
Yeah.
would just include the council and be a local leader,
Well,
Yes.
right?
Well, because we're all the grandmothers. They're all there for all of us. Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
coming together. This is the calling. This is the times we're in, you know, because of our planet and everything. So we understand that. Yeah, Brenda, I need that clarification. As what I say, I'm a spirit doctor. I'm a spirit woman. You know, it's all about that, you know, and I'm not intellectual. I'm not doing all that, you know. You know, I don't label myself.
Joan wants to.
Um,
Thanks, Sarah.
Well, I just wanted to add that the 2 places that I think I might be able to be useful is perhaps with guidance and certainly with member care. And I can't go into a long speech about it. I'm tired of
Yeah.
speaking and listening and whatever. Just at a certain point, it gets to be too much. But like, for example, Kelly mentions that she might need help with writing something that she's writing. She could teach me about dragons, which I would love to learn more about, actually. And maybe I can help her write something in, I'm sure she writes perfectly good English, but, you know, maybe I could help with that. but so these are the places where I could see myself being useful.
Yeah, good, good. And yeah, there were some comments here. I'm going to just pull the chat up. The document explaining the 12 spheres is in the documents under files. The video from the last council, the last meeting like this, is also in featured. It's saved in featured. And it has the 12 spheres on the front of that video, so you can find it there. I really feel this energy coming out of the eclipse is really a little bit more dense than it was at the beginning of the week. And I think this is, I really appreciate each of you, and we're over the hour, and I want to just honor all of us. So I just suggest feel into these, and from here, I'm going to schedule some individual sphere calls.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if whoever feels like, okay, this sphere. So if you want to just send me a message or make a note of where you feel that you fit in, then I can be sure that you're invited to that call, and we can coordinate time for whoever's going to be on that call, because that's the big thing for us, is coordinating our times. And so I want to let you know another thing we're doing, because as I said, we're $2,000 less that we need to raise. We also are $2,000 short in our budget to launch on 10/10. It's going to take 2 weeks from having that $2,000 for the work to get done for us to launch. So we've decided to have an event on the 29th of September, and we're going to invite grandmothers to share their poetry, share their music, share their wisdom, share their stories. We'll have 3 to 5 minutes each of you, each one with 3 to 5 minutes. It can even be submitted as a video, that it doesn't have to be at the live. We'll just play it as we do this on the 29th, but we will have a live feed event in the group, and we're going to do it as a fundraiser, not a member drive. We're going to just say, hey, we just need $2,000, and then we can launch the platform. I'm being trained to change my languaging about it, so bear with me as I stumble through the words that we're shifting. And so there is a call to plan that event on the 22nd at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then that event will be on the 29th. And it'll probably be a 2-hour, where depending on how many submissions we get. And we can do live interviews as well as recorded.
Is that a fundraiser?
Yes.
Okay.
And it will be must register to attend.
Okay.
And we don't have the detail. I don't have any details because that'll happen on Sunday.
So,
Yes, Brenda.
put it in the events. Everyone,
Yes.
I'm really trying, right now, that's kind of a little role that I'm taking on, is reminding people to put everything in events. But then we have to remember to go to events. So, if you go to the events and put in on the 22nd, then we can really read.
That's there.
What?
It's there.
It's there.
I already did put that one there, but I have not put the 29th because it's not really planned yet. We haven't made a flyer for that.
Right. Okay, great. And then, so, yeah, because I think I need to go read. And then so the 22nd is to plan for the 29th fundraiser.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath. Maybe as we go around, as we close, we can just one word or something, just a word of what you feel as the end of this call. And I'm so grateful for each of your presents. You have no idea. So grateful that you're here. Let's start this time. We'll go from backwards. We'll go from Kelly to Pamela to Brenda.
Well, I just in deep gratitude to the presence of everyone here, and even those who are not, who are coming together to help launch this time for grandmothers to have a greater voice in the world. I think it's very important, and many of you know this, and shaking your heads, grandmas, I know you know how important we are, especially to this world we're in that is trying so hard to move out of its adolescence into a greater adult place from a consciousness for humanity. Ashe. So I give praise and thanks for the gathering of all of us, and may we continue to bless and be blessed together. Ashe. Thank you.
Oh,
As well for this gathering and for the gathering all over the world. You are enough. We are enough together. Peace be with you.
I am feeling more and more clear. Thank you.
Blessed.
Helpful. I think I have things to offer that can still be made use of. I don't have to just lie on the couch. Helpfulness. I want to be helpful.
Thank you.
I'm going to say kaleidoscope. To me, everything looks like it's all mumble jumble, but it's really very beautiful. And in all this mess, we're going to find where we belong in that little, wherever it is. I'm going to find in all this mess where I belong.
Karen.
So the word I got from the grandmothers was movement forward. They're so happy. We have movement now. That's their word. All right. Movement forward. So they're happy because we're moving. We're not stuck. We're not, so that's their message. Thank you. And thank you, because Australia is a part of this. Uluru is the heart of Australia. And we can't have it just the USA grandmothers and the Canadian grandmothers. It is the 4 colours. Yes, thank you. Very important. Thank you.
Vital.
And thank you for your support, all of you, today, in my fasting and no coffee, caffeine yet. Mwah.
I
Oh,
really want to be the Canadian spokesperson because I love this. I'm the only one that's doing it, so let me be the Canadian spokesperson.
There are a lot of there is a lot of Canadian Native women that have popped on. Trudy Corliss, she runs Sundance, she works in community. There's a lot of Canadian people that I know that are on this group, so we can all be in touch later.
Yeah, different areas.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you all so much. And thanks for bearing with me tonight in my tiredness. Blessings.
Oh,
Thanks for doing it at
Much
night. I
love.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Infinite love and gratitude.
you turned
night.
up. Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.